TT Productions, bringing adventures to audio.
Thank you, Father.
I'm certain you wouldn't starve, Jethro, but I would not be honouring my profession if I didn't look after my flock.
I ain't been part of your flock for many a day now. Others don't want me.
But you are an elder of the village. It is our duty to care for our elders.
You're a good man, Father Thomas. I'm grateful you haven't turned your back on me, as have so many.
A man of cloth should be at the disposal of everyone in this community. Everyone. And by that sentiment, I must return to the manor. I have parishioners there to pray for.
You all need praying for, Father. Those of your flock that remains. Before a doctor comes, and there'll be none of us left.
Earth?
It's one of my favourite places. I have recently spent a considerable amount of time there. Its multifaceted cultures and history never cease to amaze me. Or is that never cease to confuse me? Not sure. Possibly both.
So, I've been looking at it in a TARDIS database.
Which you found your way around quite quickly, I may say.
Once you get past the bigger on the inside bit, it's all very logical.
Oh.
This is fascinating stuff, though. There is so much to read in here. It'll keep me going for months. And Earth seems like a fascinating place. So much war, though.
Yes, humans are a very passionate race, but unfortunately, that enthusiasm is not always channeled in the most constructive ways. They certainly have a knack for survival, though. You have to hand it to them.
Okay, so there are so many cultures to choose from. And I can choose from anywhere in history, right?
That you can. From the heights of the Chinese Empire to the birth of proto-humans, the universe is your... Wait, do you have oysters on Traken? Never mind. When and where should we go?
Oh, I just can't choose. I've waited for the opportunity to see other worlds for so long. I didn't think I'd be able to choose a time as well.
I have a suggestion. How about we go random?
You mean just...
Let the TARDIS decide. Spin the wheel and see when and where we end up.
Is it safe?
Not always, but that's why you have me. If it looks too dicey, I'll have us out of there before you can say charged vacuum embuoyment.
I'm not even going to ask. Let's do it.
Off we go. Hold on to your cotton socks. Oh, no, that's not right. Oh, well, you get the idea.
Patience, please. I heard the first knock. I shall attend presently. Father Grey, my apologies. I hadn't realized you had left the manor.
Please, Mrs. Cavendish, There is no need to apologise. I am grateful that you allow me to refuge in your home during the season. Oh, but if I could come inside, it is frighteningly cold out here.
Oh, yes, of course.
And please, Mrs. Cavendish, call me Thomas. I'm sure that it would not be improper given how long we have known each other.
It may have to be Father Thomas. I would feel remiss not to use your title.
How is everyone? Mr. Cavendish and young Amelia?
They are both well, fortunately. However, I fear my husband's charity is exceeding his common sense. The sickness spreads, and here, under our roof.
I admire your husband's sense of duty to the village, and I am grateful for his intervention.
I suppose so.
Dr. Mead?
I fear that Dr. Mead will require your prayers most speedily.
Then I must attend to him. Please, lead on, Mr. Cavendish.
By the keeper, it's a bit cold. Why do I have to wear this dress?
Contemporary dress, and I think this is what the locals would describe as bracing.
Bracing you for what? And why didn't you have to change?
The coming storm, Knowhere, the coming storm, and I'm always contemporary.
Snow! This is snow! Ha! This is brilliant! There is snow in the mountains back home and on Serenity. I've read about it in other worlds, obviously, but did you know some worlds are entirely covered in it?
Well, yes, as a matter of...
This is the first time I've ever been actually stood in it. This is fantastic!
Glad you brought your shawl.
Oh, yes, yes. The local population must find the snow difficult to cope with after a long time.
Yes.
What's wrong?
Well, you said the local population, but I don't see anyone.
Where exactly are we?
England. The TARDIS said 1679. Not the most fragrant year in Earth history, but I did promise you random.
Those structures, they're quite basic. How advanced is this civilization? Pre-spaceflight.
Oh gosh, by a long way. They haven't even invented the flushing lavatory yet.
Ah, lovely.
The TARDIS couldn't tell me where in England we are, though. It's some kind of village. Manor house on the hill, small church, and a few wooden houses.
Gloamwood.
I beg your pardon?
This village, Gloamwood.
How do you know?
Sign over there?
Gloamwood. Never heard of it.
Well, I can't expect you to know every little alien settlement throughout history.
Still, the question remains.
Where is everybody?
Let's look over there.
Locked.
All bolted from the inside.
Is traveling with you always this bleak? I mean, this place looks abandoned. Like people got out of here in a hurry.
It's possible that they did. This period in Earth's history was a particularly messy one. Medicine was still in its infancy, comparatively speaking, and many parts of the country had been swept by a pandemic and were left decimated.
Are we at risk?
There's always a risk, but 1679? The pandemic should be all but burnt out by now. This could be the aftermath.
So, did everyone here die?
Not everyone, miss.
By the keeper preserve us, where did you come from?
Old Jethro has a knack for being seen, only when he wants to be.
I can assure you there is no need to hide from us, Jethro. We don't mean you any harm.
Us as maybe. I reckon I'll be the judge.
We just wanted to know what happened here. Perhaps we can help, if any is needed.
Beyond the need for help here now.
Why do you say that?
I'm sure I don't know. Who might I be talking to?
My name is Neveah, and this is the doctor.
The doctor? Why have you come?
It's okay. What's wrong?
Are you like those up at the manor? If you have sense, you'll give that place a wide berth.
What is it, Jethro? What's frightened you?
There'll be evil here. Evil frequents the manor now. Being a doctor, you'd know all about that.
I might. What is this evil you speak of?
If I was you, I'd leave this place. But if you stay here, no doubt that evil will find you too.
But you still haven't explained.
Get ye gone, miss. Listen to old Jethro. No good will come to you if you stay. No good will come to consorting with doctors.
Hey, wait a minute!
I don't think he liked me very much.
I wouldn't take offense. He didn't seem to be, well, operating at full capacity, so to speak.
Possibly not, or possibly he just doesn't have much faith in medicine and those practicing it.
So, what now?
Well, you heard him. There is evil here, and it's best we leave.
Want to look around more?
That's the spirit.
Okay, that smells awful. What is that?
I suggest we cover our noses and investigate. Inside, evil awaits.
Evil smell, certainly. After you, Doctor.
Is it to your taste, Mr. Bennett?
A bit bitter, Mr. Cavendish. It has yet to calm my demeanor.
It is only the first sip. Like any curative, it takes time.
And this tea bowl has come all the way from China.
Yes, indeed. It has helped to know certain traders in London. I also managed to avoid some of the recent taxes on the tea leaves.
Your high and mighty friends in London aren't much help to us now, though, are they?
I am thankful for the small mercies. I have a roof over my head and the warmth of the tea, a fire, and a loving family.
You'll forgive me lack of enthusiasm, Mr. Cavendish. I can hardly celebrate your good fortune when I am at risk of losing everything.
We are a community, Mr. Bennett. We must support one another.
Community? I may not have your breeding, Mr. Cavendish, but I know that it takes more than a house full of people to make a community.
Ah, daughter, your mother sent you?
Father, Mr. Bennett, Mother asked me to inform you that the vicar has arrived and is tending to Dr. Mead.
And my wife?
I believe Mrs. Bennett is preparing some onions as part of Dr. Mead's medicine. She may be tending to him also.
Of course.
Thank you, Amelia. See if she needs assistance, would you?
Of course, Father.
She's a good girl. I am most blessed.
And yet you keep her close to this madness, eh?
Are you a God-fearing man, Mr. Bennett?
I sometimes wonder, why do you ask?
Because I believe that we must care for our neighbors if we are to be rewarded in the next life.
And you think that God has rewards for you? When he punishes us all so harshly now?
These are his trials.
And while you harbour Dr. Mead in this house, we are all at risk. My wife especially. Does that rest easy on your conscience?
The choice to care for Dr. Mead was hers. Your wife is a charitable woman.
It must be said she has a heart of gold. But I sometimes wonder if she knows the burden she puts on me.
We are very grateful for our service here.
And we are grateful to you for giving us work. But we must consider, when this crisis is ended, there may be no place for us in Gloamwood.
Gloamwood?
I know what I said, Mr. Cavendish.
The Gloaming. The village named because of the beautiful view through the trees at twilight.
Believe me, there is no light here anymore.
Ah, that smell.
Oh dear. I know that smell.
What is it?
It's the stench of death.
I thought you were talking about something specific, not just being dramatic.
The question is, what died and how?
Technically 2 questions, and I'm not sure I want to know the answer to either.
Ah,
Found something?
yes. I hope you aren't squeamish.
What are you talking? Oh, what in Melker's name? That's horrible. What happened to her?
By the looks of it, partially eaten. See, it looks as if the flesh has been gouged and torn away. Not by claws, though. I think... strange.
I never imagined. So this was an animal attack.
It looks that way, except...
Except what?
Well, the door was bolted from the inside. There are no other doors. How did the animal get in or out?
Well, through the window.
As much as it might be comforting to think a squirrel did this, the marks on this body indicate a creature of approximately human size, maybe slightly larger. Do you see the problem?
So, not through the window then.
No, I think only someone of your stature could fit through there.
Hey, are you calling me short?
No offense intended, but you have to admit...
That you're freakishly tall and everyone else seems small in comparison? Yeah, I have to agree.
Yes, this regeneration has left me needing to duck when going through small doorways.
This regeneration. You've mentioned that before.
A conversation best left for when we're back in the TARDIS, I think.
Doctor, I don't like this place.
No. And as much as I'm curious, I don't particularly want to hang around for our mystery creature to turn up.
Then, what are we going to do?
Mr. Jethro intimated to something happening at the manor.
Next stop, big house on the hill?
To the manor.
Most people tend to run away from danger.
I'm not most people.
That makes 2 of us.
Father bade me see if you needed help, Mrs. Bennett.
How many more times, my lovely? It's just Cybil when it's just the 2 of us. And yes, you can chop those herbs. I'm feeling full exhausted, I am.
Well, Mother tells me off when I call adults by their first name.
Your mother's been brought up a lady. She just wants the same for you. Sometimes the ones that love us the most are the ones that seem the most unkind.
I suppose. Oh, is that the soup for Dr. Mead?
Onion soup. They say it wards off many a disease. There ain't a better curative in this part of the world.
How is Dr. Mead?
It's right, you know. He is poorly, my dear. Very poorly, and a fright to behold. But we should do our best to heal him, as he has done for many others in the past.
Is he going to die?
Oh, no, my lovely. It doesn't do good thinking like that. He'll not die. Not while I look after him.
Well, Father says that we should leave it up to the doctors.
A lot of good they've done. Where are all the people they've cured? Answer me that.
Mrs. Bennett, did I or did I not ask you to refrain from speaking to my daughter about such matters?
My apologies, Mrs. Cavendish.
But Mother, I asked Mrs. Bennett the question. It would be rude if she didn't.
You ought to know your place, young lady. I didn't raise you to take an interest in things that do not concern you.
I'm sorry, Mother.
When will you understand that I do these things to protect you? The world is a dangerous place at this time. Too dangerous for a young girl. Especially now that that fool of a father has brought ruin to her very doorstep.
I'm sure he only wanted to help, Mother. Isn't that a good thing?
Is it? When it puts you, our only child, at risk?
Whoever might that be?
Perhaps it is the doctors. Amelia, attend.
Yes, Mother.
Ah, Martha. Amelia, you heard the door too. Are we expecting anyone?
It could be the doctors. You know that they turn up as they please. Well, answer the door, husband.
Hello, I'm the doctor.
No, you're not.
Oh, I thought I was. I am the doctor, aren't I?
Last time I checked. Hello, and I'm Neveah. We've come to help.
To help with Dr. Mead.
That's right, I'm a colleague of Dr. Mead.
Then I regret to inform you, sir, that Dr. Mead has recently been taken ill.
Edward, not in front of Amelia, please. Surely the doctor and his assistant know of the sickness. Otherwise, why would they be here?
Of course. How foolish of me. Doctor, you should come in so we can discuss this matter in private.
Edward, we don't know who this man is.
And I choose to extend him the courtesy of taking him by his word. If he should prove other than he has said, then he shall be expelled from this house. Till then, he shall be our guest. Him and...
Neveah.
Unusual. Is that your family name, or...?
May we come in? It's rather a bit cold out here.
Of course, Doctor. How rude of me. Please, come in. I am the master of this house, Edward, and this is my wife, Martha. Doctor, Miss Knowhere, may I introduce my daughter, Amelia?
Hello, Amelia.
Doctor, Miss Neveah.
Amelia, be a good girl and show the Doctor and Miss Knowhere to the guest quarters. They must be tired after their journey. The path to Gloamwood is not easy, especially in a storm. And once they have had a chance to rest, Doctor, perhaps you would join me in the dining room and we can discuss what's best to do about Dr. Neveah.
Thank you, Mr. Cavendish. May I suggest that time is of the essence? I'd be happy to discuss the situation with you while Miss Neveah gets settled.
It's just Neveah, actually.
Miss Neveah, would you mind going with Miss Cavendish? I'll meet up with you later.
Certainly.
This way, if you please, miss.
Would you care for some tea, Doctor?
Tea? In the 1600s? You must be a man of impeccable taste, Mr. Cavendish.
Thank you, Doctor. I have rather a fine blend if you would care to try.
Lead on, sir.
More waifs and strays, Edward. You will be the death of us all.
We have a vacant room for you along here, miss.
Thank you, Amelia. Is it just you and your parents in this big house?
It was, miss. Our cook and her husband now have quarters at the back of the house. They came to live with us when all the trouble started in the village.
The illness?
Yes, miss. Father converted one of our rooms into a ward for the sick when the village got affected. It's only Dr. Mead in there now. The poor man.
And the rest of the village?
I don't know, miss. I think they ran away. They were frightened, miss. Oh, you can rest in this room, miss. I can ask Mr. Bennett for some firewood if you're cold.
Thank you, Amelia. I'm sure I'll be fine. Oh, and Amelia?
Yes, miss.
Call me Neveah.
Oh, no, that would be rude, miss.
Did your mother tell you that?
Yes, miss.
I'll let you in on a secret. Mothers don't know everything, not even mine.
Yes, miss. Neveah.
Oh, who might this be?
Hello, I'm the doctor, and you are?
Another doctor, is it?
This is Hugh, a local farmer and husband to our wonderful cook. Mr. Bennett, the doctor is a colleague of Dr. Mead.
I say the best of luck to you. Dr. Mead is a gunner, if you ask me.
What exactly is wrong with Dr. Mead?
Why, sir, it's the Black Death. What else?
The bubonic plague. But hasn't that all but burnt out by now?
As you say, Doctor, London and the other cities affected are all but free of the Black Death. But unfortunately, our village has not been spared.
How long has Dr. Mead been sick?
Oh, about 3 days now.
Longer than most.
Yes. Well, most are dead or gone in the first day or two.
All gone. Wait, no. One thing at a time. Mr. Cavendish, I need to examine Dr. Mead. I may be able to help. Oh, and can someone fetch Miss Neveah?
Certainly. Please, come with me.
startled me, sir.
My apologies, Mrs. Bennett. Father Gray, I have a doctor here, known to Dr. Mead. I'm hoping he can help.
Can you help him, sir?
I will certainly try my best. How has he been?
Well, he won't take his soup, and his fever's worse than afore. I don't know what else to do.
Thank you, Mrs. Bennett. The doctor will attend him. If you would be so good, we have 2 extra mouths to feed in the doctor and his...
My colleague, Miss Neveah.
I'll fix some supper, sir.
You are a jewel, Mrs. Bennett. Thank you.
This isn't right.
I agree, Doctor. No man should suffer this.
Yes, quite.
I have been summoned.
Miss Neveah, I will require your assistance with Dr. Mead. Mr. Cavendish, Father Gray, was it? Would you both mind giving us a moment's privacy to examine the patient, please?
You shall have all the time you need. We shall be just outside if you requires.
Doctor, what's wrong with him?
Did global pandemics come up in your reading about Earth?
No, but then there was a lot to look at. What am I seeing here?
The bubonic plague, the scourge of the British Isles during the latter 17th century, amongst other times.
But his face! Are we in danger?
Ordinarily, I'd say no. The plague was transmitted by a bacteria called Yersinia pestis. It was transmitted by fleas carried on rodents, like rats and squirrels.
And you said that a squirrel wasn't behind all this. So, am I right in thinking that this period in history doesn't have antibiotics?
I'm afraid so, but there is something more concerning than that.
What?
The others were telling me that the plague kills in around 48 hours, and now that I've seen Dr. Mead, I'm convinced.
It's mutated, hasn't it?
Yes, becoming more aggressive.
But can we help these people?
Neveah, we may not be able to help ourselves. I can't give these people antibiotics. It would have a radical effect on the timeline, and even then...
What is it?
If the plague has mutated, a new antibiotic would need to be synthesized. That could take weeks, more.
Then we better get started.
Neveah, this version of Yersinia pestis could kill everyone here in as little as 24 hours, including us.